Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I It's alive!
Welcome to Where the Weird Ones Are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles or they're lizards or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Let's get weird.
Hello, we are Rachel and Heather, the hosts of Like Mother Like Murder podcast.
And you're listening to Kevin on Where the Weird Ones Are.
Oh.
What's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. My name is Kevin, but you probably already knew that, and if you didn't, now you do. Today's episode is with Sierra and Yvette from Haunting Angels Paranormal. They actually have a investigation video coming out on their YouTube tomorrow, so I highly recommend you going and checking it out. They're both very sweet, very kind, and very friendly. I had a pretty good time talking with them. They reached out to me a while ago to be on the show, so they have some interesting experiences and encounters. Yvette has what I think Sierra said it was a she shed. It's basically she was recording from a shed that's full of dolls and stuff, and I'm afraid of dolls. So it was interesting. I was staring at dolls the entire episode, but no, but she's a very, very sweet person. I highly recommend you guys going and following them on their socials and checking out their YouTube and their investigations and whatnot. At which actually the video that comes out tomorrow is with Black Smoke Paranormal, which if you've been following along, you should know them fairly well by now. They've been on the show 3 times. So and then there's another group that they did it with. So it's St. Albans in Virginia or West Virginia. I can't remember. I know it's in that one of those. It's in the Virginias. But yeah. So again, go check out their YouTube. It should be dropping on there tomorrow, June 1st. So with that being said, next weekend, June 8th, is 40 Fest, which I will be vending at. You can get hot sauce, t-shirts, stickers, and shit like that. There's also a ton of amazing vendors. There's a few speakers that they're going to be having. I think there's 4 or 5 speakers, um, and all of them are great as well. So yeah, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, it's Facebook, um, Fortean Fest, Fortean Fest. You can get your tickets there. If you're having trouble getting there and finding, the Facebook page to get your tickets, you can definitely reach out to Paranormal 5, Missy and Richie, husband and wife paranormal team. They are the ones hosting the event, so they can definitely help you out with getting your tickets. Other than that, you can get your tickets at the door. I believe it's a little more expensive at the door, but regardless, if you just haven't decided yet or whatever, and it's kind of like a last minute thing, you can definitely get tickets at the door. So, anywho, if you're looking to flavor up your food when cooking, whether it's your steak, your eggs, or anything really that you like to put fucking garlic on, I highly recommend Bigfoot's Breath from Flavors of the Forest. They also have a spicy blend, and they just came out with a ginger dust. So it is raw garlic dust. They freeze dry it, and it's very potent. So it's nothing like the garlic that you get, the garlic powder that you get at the store. This is 10 times better. You don't need to use as much, but I still use quite a bit. And I also put it in my hot sauce. So I'm also going to be using their ginger to put in my hot sauce too once I get some. So, but yeah, you can get yourself some raw garlic dust at flavorsforest.com. You can follow them at flavorsforest on Instagram. Great, great people, phenomenal. Really enjoy. I'm so happy that I met them. Nelson is the chef. He's a good dude. Like him a lot. So I would highly recommend checking them out and getting some garlic. Um, tell them I sent you. So, anywho, I think that's pretty much it for events and whatnot. But story time is dropping on Patreon next on this coming Monday. It is with Amanda from One Nothing Podcast, so there will be a preview on the channel. But the to get to the Patreon, it's patreon.com weirdos/weirdos only. It's only $5 a month, pretty inexpensive, just a little more pricier than a coffee, depending on what kind of coffee you get, I guess, because some coffees can be fucking expensive. They're putting a frickin' Starbucks in this town, which we have like 12 fucking coffee shops. We don't need a fucking Starbucks. Sucks anyway. They're way too expensive, but I mean, if you like Starbucks, sorry, uh, but yeah, so Patreon, you get Conspiracy Tuesdays, you get story time, you get a free coffee mug, you might get a free T-shirt here and there. You get early access to the shows. Um, that's pretty much it. Um, if you feel like supporting me in that manner, that'd be great. Obviously, you don't have to. I don't expect anybody to do so, but if you do, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps out a lot with all this stuff and, going to events to put the name out there and, getting more guests onto the show. Not needed, but it does help. So, also, I think I'm going to be doing a Halloween game show. It's just like a trivia show. So if you're on the Patreon, you definitely get first dibs on being a contestant, which is cash money prizes. So more stuff will come out about that probably in September. So, also, I will be going to the Conjuring House with Beyond the Shadows and Tales, Trails, and Taverns podcasts. I think we're just gonna do like a little live on Instagram on Beyond the Shadows Instagram. Um, but yeah, it should be a good night. We're going June 18th, spending the night. So excited to do that. So like, follow, share, subscribe, do all that shit. Leave a rating and review. That would be a huge help. You can also leave a rating and review on the website, which is where the weird ones are podcast.com. If you're interested in being featured on the show, you can reach me on Instagram or Facebook, where the weird ones are, or you can reach out to me, where the weird ones are at gmail.com. I'm currently booking into August and September. So, if you're interested, reach out, and we can do the damn thing. We if you don't want your face out there, we don't have to do the YouTube thing. I can just do audio only if you prefer that, because um uh I would like to continue to be respectful. So, if you don't want if you want to be anonymous, we can definitely do it that way. It's totally fine. But yeah, So reach out to me in one of those ways and we can get you on the show if you're interested. So anywho, let's get into it with Sierra and Yvette from the Haunting Angels paranormal group. They're lovely people. I highly recommend going checking out their YouTube. All right, let's go.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Let's get weird! Let's get weird! Let's get weird! Let's get weird! Weird! Get weird!
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you to the day.
What was that?
Swing those hips around. Can't stop, roll back down. My ladies, short, tall, thin.
So we've only been on the three of us for like what, 5 minutes? An EVP saying, let me out. All right, I'm.
Buddy, welcome to another episode. So happy to have you here. I have two paranormal investigators here with me, Yvette and Sierra from Haunting Angels. How's it going, ladies?
Good, how are you?
Good, good, good. So if you guys don't mind just letting everybody know a little bit about yourselves, like where they can find you and your content and all that stuff.
Go ahead, Sierra, you can go first.
Okay. So we are on Facebook. It's gonna be fun because we're not together. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube and Instagram. All of them are Haunting Angels. And we actually should have some news coming soon because we filed for a trademark on the name we did it in January, so hopefully over the summer we'll have some news with that. But Haunting Angels, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. Is somebody else using does somebody else use the name? Is that why you're trademarking it, or?
Well, I mean, we've had a couple pop up, but really we just wanted, because we are kind of getting up there. We hit 1,000, what was it, a week or two ago? Yvette?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there's a name that's similar to ours, and we just don't want any conflict, so might as well just trademark it.
Yep. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Perfect sense. So have you guys known each other for a long time? Like, what made you guys decide to do the investigating together?
Well, we both worked at in the health field, and she was my neighbor at the office next to me, and she overheard me talking about paranormal or a ghost show or something to somebody, and that's how it started, pretty much. Right after that, we went and investigated an abandoned prison near my house, and from then on, it was one weekend after another, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just about going on 2 years. It'll be 2 years in September.
Awesome. Awesome. So did Yvette get you into the investigating altogether, or were you interested before?
I was interested before. I'd always liked the ghost, the taps, horror in general. And I don't know. I'm nosy in general, but that day I was nosy and I overheard her. And I don't even know what show she was talking about, but I knew of a place near where we worked that was undisclosed, but we burned it. That I took her out to. We got into the investigating part together.
Yes.
Good. Good. That's awesome. That's awesome. Shit. Now I lost my train of thought.
We do that often.
All the time.
I have that effect on people.
So Did you guys have like experiences before? Is that Yvette? I'll ask Yvette. Did you have experiences before you decided to start doing your investigating or anything like that?
I sure did. I'm originally from Miami, Florida, and that's where it started for me. It was pretty much Kevin one night after another. Every night was something, whether it was a little girl playing, I would see a man. The vertical blinds were moving around all over the place, but they weren't moving at the same time. It was really weird. Lights. So ever since then, yes, things have changed for me. And on top of that, I have things that I can tell or on people. I have senses. There's just a few things that I have, with me when it comes to that.
Okay. Kind of like a Claire or something, some kind,
I don't
because
even know
there's
what to
like
name
100
myself.
of
I
them
mean,
now.
yeah, I mean, people say what, empath, or what was the other
Oh
one?
yeah.
I call her a witch because
And I'm,
she's psychic.
yeah, and I'm pretty much,
Psychic.
yeah,
Mhm.
I say that I'm a
Huh.
witch, but a good witch, not a bad one,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, she could tell me just about to the, not even the week, to the day when I was going to get a call that I got a new job. So, witch.
Wow,
Uh-huh.
that's interesting. That's super interesting. When did you realize that you kind of like had that kind of like intuition of like having something?
Right after all these experiences started happening, it just woke something up, and then I started seeing people's auras. I started feeling them, their emotions. I started talking to people in my dreams that have passed, whether it's family or friends. I can just tell if something was going to happen. A lot of things after that episode of what happened to me at that house at that time.
Okay. All right. So we'll get into the if you don't mind, get into those stories, but before we do that, I want to ask Sierra, what if did you have experiences prior? Is that why you were interested in the paranormal field?
Yeah, I mean, I have seen my grandfather that passed. He visited me in a dream. Um, the house that I actually live in, before I lived in it, I saw my great grandmother. I don't think it was too long after she passed, maybe 3 or 6 months after she passed. I saw her, almost a full bodied apparition. That was pretty freaky. Um,
Wow.
and the house that my parents live in, it's not my childhood house, but the house that they currently live in that I used to live in, um, there would be like someone kind of peeking around the corner. Things move. It's not like constant all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But and I've just always loved horror movies. It's something that me and my dad really connected about. So.
Yeah. It's funny because I just had a woman named Christina. She's in New Jersey,
Mhm.
Westervelt. Maybe you guys know of her. I
It
don't know.
sounds familiar.
No.
Yeah, so she's been in the paranormal investigating field for a while, and she too also had a close connection with her dad in horror movies,
Mhm.
and I did too. Like my dad was into the sci-fi horror. I mean, I was introduced to it and Child's Play at a really early age. So dolls and clowns are
Mhm.
fears for me. I mean, clowns are more
Mhm.
like an uncomfortableness, like just,
Mhm.
keep your distance kind of thing. Where dolls, I have a hard time being in the same room.
Well, you must love Yvette.
Coming to you live from Channel 25 Action News, I'm Edwina Kemper, and with me is Lavender Robenshaw, curator of the specialty podcast Early on Wednesday. Tell me, Lavender, do you keep a fresh supply of cryptids?
Early on Wednesday has a list of 22 cryptids, and that list is growing all the time. We also like to dabble in demons, ghosts, and anything else that goes bump in the night, or maybe lurking around your house with a creepy smile.
Well, how haunted are your paranormal subjects?
Sometimes the creepy noises and odd experiences have a perfectly logical explanation, and we gorgeous ghouls love to dive in the psychology behind everything. But Other times, the only possibility left is that your house is haunted, or perhaps a demon is trying to possess you. Do you really have that many serial killer cases? The Early on Wednesday database contains information on 4,743 serial killers, and sadly, there are 13,105 victims of serial killers, and this is estimated. Some of these victims aren't linked to serial killers or have never been found. To fill your murder juice cup, we plan to cover them all. Well, you heard it here first. It's Early on Wednesday. Do you know where you're listening?
In the doll
I was
she
just
shed.
Yeah, I was just telling her about it. She's like, my daughter's scared of clowns. I was like, oh, I'm scared of clowns too. Don't worry about that. I got plenty of fears going on in here.
Yeah.
But so you guys started investigating together. Can you walk the listeners through like that first ever investigation you guys did together?
Well, I believe the first Go ahead, Sarah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
The first investigation we did is at the abandoned jail that I have here close to my home. You're not supposed to be in there, but me and Sierra, we were there.
It's burned. We can never go back.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
So our first time there is, I think we had just purchased a REM pod, which I didn't even know what that was at the time, you know? And to watch that thing light up for no reason was the hook, line, and sinker for me. It was like, whoa, did that just happen? Like, yeah. So we've had some crazy experiences in that jail. It was a boys' school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush. It's very addicting.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I will agree. I can contest to that because I've never done an investigation, and then I went to Miami with my kids this past October, and I went out with Black Smoke and 305 Paranormal for my very first ever investigation, and they got me hooked. So I'm actually gonna be going to the Conjuring House next month. So
Oh, we really want to go there. That's on our list at some point.
Oh, Kevin, take
Yeah.
me with you.
Yeah. Hey, don't leave me here. Just because I'm on a cell phone, don't leave me here.
You can come June 18th.
Yeah, I'll be with Black Smoke in a couple of weeks. Actually, we're gonna do a few investigations because I saw a family down there, so I'm always back and forth to Miami.
So
All right.
she can stay. I'll go.
All right, come on, let's go. It's all dudes, so if you're good with that,
I'm in.
all right. I claimed the outside because I guess the woods are really haunted there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm definitely gonna be outside. So it's like the basement and the woods. So I'm packing a tent and everything.
Oh, there you go.
And we're gonna record. We're gonna do videos. I guess the other guys want to do a live because there's 2 other podcasts that are gonna go. So we're gonna do a live while we're there and stuff like that. So that'll be they want to do a not Facebook, Instagram live. So
cool.
If you guys aren't doing anything that night, we'll be
absolutely
talking about what's going on there that night. But so let's talk about the video that you have coming out soon with Black Smoke. Where is St. Albans? Is that
Yep,
where
in
that
Virginia.
is?
Yeah, and
Sorry.
Cross the Line Paranormal, yeah.
Oh, okay. That says Black I had Mela and Steven on recently, and we were talking. They were talking about that, and I was like, "Oh, I can go." And then they're like, "Oh, we're going on the May 10th." You went, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, "Ooh, May 10th. My baby is due on April 30th. I don't know if that's gonna work out."
Yeah.
That's a close.
And so she came on May 3rd. So, but anywho, so. If you don't mind walking the listeners, get a little teaser of like things that went on at St. Albans for you guys.
So, I mean, myself, Yvette, and James from Cross the Line, we ended up together for a majority of the time. And I want to say it was within 5 or 10 minutes of us kind of being in this stairwell where Yvette had an experience during the tour. We were down there doing an EVP and we got someone screaming, "Oh, get out." And that was within 5 minutes.
Wow.
I got my hair pulled twice. They're really into hair there. Two other people got their hair pulled. It was a
Oh.
lot. It was very interesting.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
I would have ran. That's all I'm gonna say. If my hair gets pulled or like I get grabbed or whatever,
Mhm.
I'm running
I was
instantly.
watching it back and I was really impressed with myself because I have ghost bait on the back of my shirt and I am a chicken, but my hair gets pulled and I just go, "Holy crap, my hair got pulled." That was the reaction that I had. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, the spirits really don't like to mingle with me for some reason. But as soon as I went in there, I did have somebody following me, and you can hear the footsteps going up and down the stairs. And I did hear a yes with my ear, and then we caught it on the recorder.
Recorder,
So
yeah.
that was pretty good.
I think they like the fear. They feed off of it or something.
Yes, yes. It seems to be the more afraid you are of it, of them, the more they kind of like mess with you.
Yeah.
That's what it seems to be.
Mhm.
Which maybe I should try and like stop being afraid of them. Which most of I'll be honest, most of my experience, because I've had experiences my entire life. I've only had 2 experiences that actually really scared me.
Mhm.
So, and they were as adult, as an adult.
Yeah.
All the stuff that happened to me when I was a kid, probably in the moment it scared me, but like really like trying to relive it and stuff, like it wasn't like a fear, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, the same with me, Kevin. My worst time was, excuse me, was when I was seeing these things at night back in the day. You know.
Yeah.
I can't hold my phone anymore. It's hurting my arm.
I'm so sorry that you have to do it on your phone.
I'm
I feel so
struggle
bad.
bussing over here. And now my laptop's playing music. Oh no. I'm
Yeah.
struggling bad. There we go. Well, now
Good
you can actually
night.
see my shirt.
Hey, I
Cryptids.
have a Mothman too.
Yeah.
I mean, you have more than just Mothman, but
Yeah.
still. Um, yeah, so like all the experience I had as a kid, it was more like I just saw that and then just like looking
Mhm.
side eye, like, oh, but there was 2 incidences that I had as an adult that I wanted to either like defend myself or run. And one of them happened in the middle of the woods. I was living in this little house and I actually got my gun because I thought something was
Oh
going to come
wow.
into the house.
Wow.
That's how scared I was.
Dang.
It was just red eyes. I couldn't see
Oh
anything. It was
wow.
just these
Yeah.
red eyes in the woods. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
there's
scary.
yeah. I think the more stories that I listened to, because there was coyotes and stuff like that. But like there was a boulder, there was a rock wall on the side of my house, and there was a boulder that stood like 6 feet tall ish. It was a little bit taller than me because I'm 5'10", so
Mhm.
I I say it's 6 feet.
Oh
And the
wow.
eyes were behind it, but above it. And I was like, holy shit, that's whatever the fuck that is huge. And bears don't get that big up here in Maine.
Yeah.
Nor do they have red eyes.
I was gonna
Yeah, I was
say,
So
gonna say.
what has red eyes?
Yeah.
so there's a lot of stories.
Mothman.
In the moment, Mothman does have red
Uh-huh.
eyes, yeah. In the moment I was like, there's a demon outside, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And this was like in 2016 when this happened. And I started listening to podcasts in 2020 because like most people, like most of the listeners know by now, like I used to think podcasts were freaking stupid. I was like, who the hell wants to listen to people just gab for an hour or 2? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I thought it was a demon, but 2020 came around. I started listening to podcasts. I got into conspiracies because I've always been kind of conspiratorial. anti-government kind of personality, and then I got into this paranormal podcast, which you guys might know because it's pretty popular. The Confessionals with Tony Merkel.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I started listening to him like religiously. I was binging all of his episodes and stuff, and like almost everything that talked about um, Dogman, like basically felt coincided with a lot of the things that happened that night. And I was just like, did I see a freaking dog man that night? Like, holy cow. Because my dogs were going crazy. But as soon as I saw the eyes, because my dogs wanted to get outside at the coyotes, as soon as I saw the red eyes, my dogs just stopped barking. And it was almost like they sensed like the fear in me and sensed like what was going on. And they just stopped barking. I got my rifle and I put a round in the chamber, and I just sat on my couch with the rifle in my lap, looking at this window, expecting this thing to come through the window, and my dogs just sat on each side of me, not saying a word or anything like that. So like to me that like meant something, just to have that fear and for them to feel it as well.
Yeah.
Isn't
So
that like a skinwalker
Oh, don't say it.
or shapeshifter?
Well, yeah, so skinwalkers are they can turn into animals.
Right.
But they're not necessarily like these huge big creatures. You know what I mean? They like actually, so like if you were to witness it, they would be like this big dog, or I guess some of the stories are like they're wolves. They shape shift into wolves and
Right.
stuff like that. Or they can even look like you or something.
Well, that's crazy.
But everything that I've heard about Dogman coincides with what I saw. At least I think so anyway.
Wow.
But that's what I associate that experience with.
That's an experience for sure.
Yeah.
Was it Dogman? I don't know.
Right.
So let's go back in time with Yvette.
Yeah.
And can you recall your first ever experience?
Sure. The first one was waking up because I felt a presence on top of me, and when I opened my eyes, there was a man with a black coat and white face staring at me.
How old were you?
Oh gosh, I was 17, 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you like physically felt it on you
Yeah.
while you were laying.
Yes, I was asleep, but then I just felt like I needed to, I don't know, just something woke me up, like I needed to wake up. And because I felt somebody there with me. And when I opened my eyes, he was standing right outside my bathroom door, just there staring at me, a tall man, black coat, white face, and he was just staring at me.
Wow.
And I got really I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, go ahead. I was just gonna ask another question, but go ahead and continue with your.
No, I got really scared. I woke up my parents, and my dad came out. There's nobody here. You know, he doesn't believe in any of that stuff. So he brushed me off and went back to bed.
So it was in the bathroom or in the bathroom door, you said?
Yeah. So at the time, the bathroom is like a Jack and Jill. It's connecting to the next room, which was my brother's. So he was standing in the doorway on my side, on the foot part of my bed, just standing there staring at me.
Jeez, Louise, pepper cheese. And you just got up and ran to get your parents?
I didn't get up right
and then
away.
You come back and it was gone?
Yeah, I didn't get up right away. I stared at him for maybe 2 seconds, and then it poofed, and it was gone, and I got up after that.
Oh my God. It disappeared right in front of you? Jeepers creepers. Oh my gosh. I would have burned the house down. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah, and that was just one incident. And my mom, after everything that we talked about, my mom did come clean and said she had experiences in that house too.
Oh, wow. So you didn't start experiencing anything until you were a teenager.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what do you what so what would be like the scariest if you have one? Because I know some people just have experiences and it's not necessarily scary, but do you have like an experience yeah, that first of all, that experience is scary. So I'm not saying that it wasn't at all. But if you have a scarier one, something that like really like, you thought was gonna hurt you, do you have anything like that?
I don't have one that was going to hurt me. I do have one with a little girl, and for me, when it comes to kids, it's a little bit touchy for me. I don't like to see that. Um,
Yeah, same.
and to hear this little girl in my room, I mean, I can hear her, and I can probably picture her in my head playing with dolls or playing with another animal in my room, and then you're looking for this little girl, but she's right on the floor next to you playing, and you can't see her. I get goosebumps just talking about it.
Yeah.
I have goosebumps right now and I'm sweating at the same time. So
Oh,
So that was another episode, and that to me was a little scary because it had to do with it was a little girl. I don't like
yeah,
that.
yeah, me neither. So anything that comes to kids, whether it's kids being harmed,
Yeah,
stories in the news about kids, hauntings that are childlike or that present themselves as children, like I can't like I get a lot of times I just instantly start crying when it comes to anything with children. Um,
right. I have two girls of my
so
own, so it just hits different with that. I don't like it.
yes, yes, I would agree. As a father as well, so I would, especially after I became a father, those kind of things
mhm.
affected me even more. So, I mean, before I was a father, I loved kids before that. So
Right,
had like this, like, still like those kind of feelings, but they became more emotionally charged hearing them or, witnessing them or experiencing like a childlike entity, um, after having children. So,
correct.
um, So I wanted to ask what got you so interested in dolls? Because for the people watching on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
obviously you can see all the dolls behind Yvette, but the people listening to the audio, they can't see shit. So Yvette has a room full of dolls around her. And when she originally first came on, there's a big scarecrow that's pretty human, life size as
Over
a
here.
person. I kind of thought it was a real person and that it was gonna move at some point because I could see her
Uh,
hand messing with the camera, and then I was just messing with her, and I was like, "Are you the scarecrow?" She's like, "No, what the hell?"
uh,
But no, I did. I kind of was like, "I bet you that's a person," but it's not.
just gonna
But
move.
anyways, regardless, there's a bunch of dolls
Uh,
for everybody that is not on the YouTube. So what got you so interested in dolls?
Kevin, I just love. I'm not afraid. I I'm not afraid. I love creepy stuff. I go to antique shops with my K2, and I just people must think, well, who's this crazy lady with a K2 going around the antique shops? But that's me. The more creepier, the more broken that these dolls are, the better they are for me. I don't know. I just love all this creepy stuff.
and there's one right by the scarecrow that someone has colored on its face. That one is the freakiest to me, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, it
Ugh.
looks creepy. That's probably why.
Yeah.
To me, anyway,
No,
it looked.
we're gonna have an intervention one day with you and the dolls. Uh-huh.
Uh, so Sierra, what if you can recall, what was your first experience with paranormal?
I was older than 5 because my sister was born but I don't think she was too old, so maybe 5 or 6 when my grandfather had passed away, and visited me in my dream. In the dream, um, and I was 5 or 6. I didn't really know what was happening. I knew that
Mhm.
he was here one day, and then all of a sudden he's not, and everyone's so upset. But he visited me in our backyard. This may be a weird detail, but it was where the pool used to be that they had buried. And he was out there talking to me, checking in, seeing how everything was, saying that everything's going to be fine. And then my mom ran out and he kind of faded away. Um, and she, kind of fell to the ground. And I told her about it in the next morning, and she kind of got the same reaction that she had in the dream. And I didn't understand. I'm just like, oh, okay, I saw Papa again. But as I got older, I was like, oh, he actually visited me in my dream. That's kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of like comforting, and they say
Mm-hmm.
actually I've been reading a lot like these past like 2 or 3 weeks, a lot a lot of articles about how loved ones visit us and through our dreams is one of those ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's could be like the first week or the first month of after they pass, they'll make contact
Correct.
in our dreams, which is really cool. And I'm happy that you had that experience, whether he talked to you or not, but like just to have that reconnection one more
Mm-hmm.
time, is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was. I was the first grandchild, and we were buddies. I would sneak out of my house in the morning, not tell anybody where I was. I mean, it was the 90s, but I would be
Yeah.
over there with him having breakfast. So,
Oh, that's cute.
I mean, we lived on the same street. It wasn't like I was going far.
Right, right. I got the pleasure of living with my grandparents for a while after my parents split up. I was like 7, so I got to see them every day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which my grandparents are kind of old school, but well, I mean, anybody that's at that age is old school
Yeah.
technically, you know what I mean? But my grandfather is like this uh big teddy bear. He used to be a bodybuilder, so he's like this huge freaking mountain of a man and the sweetest person. He
Mm-hmm.
looks like he would like just like crush my skull with his hand
Mm-hmm.
with no issue. But he was like the biggest teddy bear. Um, and he's basically, for me personally, he was like my biggest role model of like being a man. So
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
um so that's pretty cool that you got to sneak over and have breakfast with your
Yeah.
grandfather all the time. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have any experiences that scared the shit out of you before you started investigating?
Um. Oh, okay. So the house that I live in, um, is where my grandmother lives and where I live now. And I think I was in middle school. I don't think I was in high school yet. And I snuck over like I would do because grandma keeps the good snacks. So I rode my bike over here and she wasn't home. So I'm pilfering, got to be quick. And I have my my goods on the counter and I'm in the laundry room behind the door trying to find a bag to get my snacks and leave. And my great grandmother, Granny, I think she had been gone a couple months. And this was the last house that she lived in before she went to the nursing home. And I heard my whole name yelled out. And I'm like, oh, great, I've been caught. I've not been fast enough. I opened the door, and there she is, standing right where the kitchen meets the dining room. And for some reason, it didn't freak me out in the moment that it was about maybe a quarter of her legs and up. Like you couldn't even see her legs. And she turned around and faded into nothing. I left the snacks on the counter and left. I get a call later. Were you here pilfering? I'm like, no, that was not me.
Oh my God.
Like,
Holy
okay,
cow.
Granny does not like to be pilfered. Got it. Okay. Well, I
Gee.
got whole named by my deceased great grandmother.
Wow.
Mhm.
That is interesting. I would have done the same thing. I would have just not grabbed anything. I would have ran right out of there.
Uh-huh.
So I don't blame you one bit at all.
Mhm.
At all. So, I'll ask. This one's for both of you. Whoever wants to answer first is. It's up to you guys. But have you ever? So first of all, I'll say, Sierra, I know that like the dream with your grandfather was a positive thing, but have you had an experience that was so overwhelmingly positive you could attribute it to like an angel? Not that you know, I don't know if you guys are religious or not, but like something of that kind of sort.
I could.
Yeah.
I am I'm a mountain biker, so I'm putting myself in danger all the time in the woods, jumping all crazy
Mm-hmm.
kind of shit, rocks and stuff. And there has been many times, Kevin, where I'm about to crash bad. It's going to be a bad crash, and just I feel like something just holds me down on the bike. Yeah. I believe that
Wow.
I believe that there's always somebody, an angel with me. It could be a family member, I'm not sure, but I'm surrounded all the
Mm-hmm.
time, and they're holding me down all the time. They really are. And I've had a few experiences that I was going to go down really really bad. It was and I managed to stay on that bike. So
Like a magnet.
yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it. You're not moving, even though you're kind of off the bike already. But something is just holding you there, and then you sit back down once you pass that dangerous point.
Mhm. Only
Wow.
one that I can think of is I was driving and just clear as day I heard my name, and I can't remember what it was now, but it was something that I associated with taking a different way. And I'm like, what? Like you kind of slow down and you're like, whoa, what was that about? And I'm like, that's the long way. I really don't want to go that way, but okay, sure, I'll go that way. And then later that day, the way that I would have went, there was a car accident. So
Oh my God. I hear
I got
those
cold
are
chills.
the yes. Those stories friggin' drive me nuts. Like it's just like, oh my God, like what if, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And there's so many people that have, you know, similar stories and they're amazing.
Welcome to the Dead Podcast. I'm your host, Desi, and on this podcast, I discuss all things spooky and weird, from ghosts, demons, religion, to folklore, urban legends, true crime, and all things paranormal, with some horror movie reviews sprinkled in. So join me on this spooky ride.
And it's just, oh man. So are either one of you or both of you religious at all?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like not practicing or anything, but like you believe in something greater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. I actually prayed for the very first time in my life on 2 Fridays ago.
Okay.
So it was it's pretty interesting. There, cuz like when it comes to like these like I don't know, negative entities, there seems to be something with the name of Jesus that they just don't want to mess
Mhm.
around with. Like the minute they hear it, they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh,
They're like,
I'm out of
okay,
here."
oh, sorry. Yeah.
Um Have you guys ever come across, so you had your hair pulled
Mhm.
at St. Albans. Have you ever had anything that um attached to you and you may have brought home at all during your investigations?
I mean,
From your investigations, I should say.
I get taps, knocks, hits on the wall. A couple weeks after investigations, the longest that I've ever had anything so far was Old Hospital on College Hill. I always want to say it backwards. That one went on for about a month, and that could have been Mo's. Me and him bonded. Um, and it's funny. I'll be editing, and past me will say, "Is there anything here? Make a tap." And then I'm like, "Past me is not talking to you. Get out." I don't know if it's leftover energy, but it usually only stays 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
Not me,
So
Kevin.
nothing.
Nothing ever wants to follow me home. So
I'm
Yeah, I think we pretty much
I'm
we
the
pretty much
favorite.
tackled that issue early on. You're like, nobody fucks with me.
No.
What can I say? I'm the favorite.
Yeah. Well, it's probably the fear in you, like you stated earlier.
Well,
You know.
and it's funny when I'm in my house, I'm like, nope, nobody invited you. Get out. Nope, get out. Nobody told you to stay. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Like, nope, I didn't fuck around with you in my house. Get out.
So before you guys go on an investigation, do you have
Mhm.
like a ritual, like any kind of like, not necessarily ritual, but like just things that you do that you like don't feel complete if you do an investigation without doing these certain things in a certain way before you go out there?
I mean, I think.
Nothing? You just grab your stuff and go like, let's do this?
I mean, I think we like to like find a general space that is kind of like the central area and say who we are, our names while we're there. We mean respect. I think that's the closest to a ritual we have.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. That's a respectable respectful thing to do.
Between the three of us, we'll get there.
Man, words turn to mush in my mouth sometimes, I don't know if you ever have experience with that,
All
but
the time.
so have either one of you had an experience that you can associate with a cryptid, like Dogman or anything like that, or are we just talking spiritual entities?
I wish. I'd love to see Mothman.
Oh my God, yeah, me too, kind
Even
of.
if it's just his statue with that ass in West Virginia, yeah.
I'm going to West Virginia in October for a conference. I was invited to speak, and so I have to do like this West Virginia tour, I guess, and then so Mothman is on there. I gotta go see, at least check out the statue. I don't know what the obsession is with the butt, but
It is. I don't know what the statue maker was doing, but it is an ass, and people put
yeah.
corners in it. We've never been anywhere near it, but when we go to Ohio in December, we'll pass right through it. Yvette, I don't know if you know this yet. We're seeing the statue.
Well, Kevin, let me tell you, we have some fellow investigators that just went and they left $1 in his butt. So just saying.
Yeah.
Wow, they made some cheeks for that guy.
They
Holy cow!
I don't know what happened.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah.
Do you guys go to a lot of conferences or conventions at all, or?
I mean, we went to 2 in Charlotte, but there's
Yeah.
not a whole lot that comes to North Carolina. I don't know what Carolinists they are, but they don't come around here.
Are you guys based in North Carolina?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I think it's because Yvette said she's originally from Florida. I think that's why I associated you guys with Florida, and because of Black Smoke. But then again, you guys were at St. Albans, friggin' West Virginia.
Right.
I was actually just in North Carolina. When the hell was it? April. It was in April for a convention in Hamlet. I guess they're both the same thing or something. I don't know. Or they're right next to each other. But it was Encounter Quest, and it was all paranormal and cryptid and alien stuff. So
Well, whenever you come back to North Carolina, let us know and we'll take you to a few places.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Undisclosed
Sweet.
and disclosed.
Yeah.
All right. Because I'm probably going to go to North Carolina again next year for the same exact convention.
Okay.
So I don't know how far Hamlet is from you guys, but
I'm not sure. I'll have to Google it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it's between. Shoot,
Raleigh?
now I remember. Now I can't remember. It's like it's between Raleigh and Charlotte or something. I don't know.
We
I'm
have an
sorry.
investigation in April.
You
We're
didn't?
gonna be doing it. I don't think we did. We were, but then it got canceled.
Oh, my
Oh.
son. If we had connected sooner, maybe we could have done something because my son was with me and
Yeah.
he's like starting to get into all this stuff too,
Mhm.
which is pretty dope. He's gonna
Awesome.
be
Yeah.
16 in November, so
Okay.
which means I have to buy a car soon
Oh
because he's
Lord.
gonna be driving, and
Oh,
I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
Um, so what do you guys have like a favorite piece of equipment that you like to use the most?
I really like the recorder. It is a heifer to edit. And try to get it lined up with where it starts in the video and then replace the audio and then kind of go back where the video was that it didn't have that EVP in it. But I
Yeah.
really like it because it's so cool to for us to just be talking or silence and then someone to interject that wasn't there. I think that's always pretty cool.
Yeah,
Especially that screen that we caught at St. Albans.
that is.
yeah, that was crazy. Well, my favorite equipment is myself, honestly.
I I had a feeling you were gonna say that. I was gonna try and answer it just for you, just to see if I was gonna be right, but I was like,
Okay.
oh, just in case, I'll let her answer.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I have 2 bags full of stuff, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you get like just feelings of like can you see people like apparitions like full on like everywhere you go, or do you have to like a switch, you have to like go in and like do some kind of like thing in your head and to like turn it on and off?
I have to train myself to turn on because I have lately shut off, meaning I don't like the bad stuff that I see sometimes. So I've trained myself to just keep it off.
Uh-huh.
But I have been lately, coming around and I do see sometimes just shadows. I don't see them completely. I see just shadows. And I'm always telling
Yeah.
Sarah, do you see that shadow there? I see eye shine. Do you see eye shine? And then she's like, no. But then after a while, she sees the eye shine or she sees a shadow, that type of thing. So I do see shadows. I do smell.
Okay.
I do sense, that heaviness where you can't breathe, that type of thing.
Before you shut yourself off, was it just like constant seeing stuff? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's hard. That has to be hard.
yes, I didn't like it. So I talked to my mom. I'm Cuban, and I asked my mom, what can I do? And she's like, put a glass of water under your bed. It's supposed to suck in all the bad, one of those things. So, and I would pray a lot. So I'm pretty sure my angels or whoever is protecting me has helped me shut down after that.
Are both of your parents Cuban?
Yes, they are.
Are they, did they ever, or do they know of, maybe you never asked, but like any family members having practiced in Santeria at all, or because I know that's a big thing in Cuba, but I know a lot of like Steven and Mela, like Mela Steven hates it, and
Me too.
Mela's had family members that practiced, and actually she practiced a little bit when she was young, so
Yes,
just out of curiosity.
my mom and my grandmother, her mom, I went to a lady's house, which I'm sure she was into Santeria, because as soon as I walked into the house, the smell of, I don't know, I didn't like the smell. And then there was pictures of eyeballs all over the walls. And I felt like I was being stared at all the time. It was just so, yeah, I'm pretty sure one of my family members have practiced that. Yes, definitely.
Okay, all right. Eyeballs, huh? Just pictures of eyeballs. all over the
Like
place?
I have one like evil eyes. You know the evil eye. I have one on my
Oh,
necklace to keep the evil eye away. But these were
yeah.
different. I don't know. These were different, and I was smaller than I was about 10 when I went into these houses with my mom and my grandmother. And the lady, there was rocking chairs too, and the lady would say, "Do you see something on that rocking chair?" And I'm like, "Well, I see it moving from the corner of my eye." And she goes, "Well, then that's somebody's in there, rocking in it." So that just freaked me out. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, yeah. Yeah, that freaked me out too, no doubt. Um,
But
excuse me.
Santeria is very big in Cuba. Yes, for Cubans.
Yeah, yeah. And from what I hear too, the ones that do practice, they're like it's not a bad thing, but I don't know. I've heard some bad stories. I mean, even just from Mela, the stories that she told me were kind of creepy, and it's
Listen,
it's nothing that
they
I'd
use
want to mess with.
yeah, they use goats, they use chickens, they use animals, they sacrifice them. I don't like that. I don't like
oh,
that.
Yeah, yeah,
no.
They do it.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's like it's kind of like a form of voodoo, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and it's anything that has like sacrifice has a bloodletting or any kind of sacrifice kind of thing. Always, I'm just like, get it out of here.
You
I
go
don't
over
want
there.
it.
I'm gonna stay over here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
don't do that.
Ugh.
Yeah, don't.
Don't do
Yeah, we don't
that. So
even
what do you
mess with the
guys?
Ouija board.
No, we don't.
You don't mess. Oh, that I
Uh-uh.
like asking that question too because I would never. I mean,
Uh-uh.
spirit box, kind of the same thing. I keep hearing, but I don't think I could ever bring myself to mess with a Ouija board. So good on you guys.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of really bad stories I hear originate from a Ouija board.
Yeah. We nope. Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Shoot, I was gonna ask something and then you ruined it. Thanks a lot, Tira.
Ah,
I do that. I do that. I do.
she's the problem. It's her.
If I'm the problem, it's me.
I'm just messing with you. Oh yes, I remember. So what do you guys have coming up next for investigations?
Oh Lord, we always forget something, but we have the Battleship of Wilmington in June.
Yeah.
July we have the Morgan County Funeral Home and Jail. We actually have them on the same night. Um, Penhurst in August. September. Oh, we have Cabin 360 in there somewhere in Tennessee. Um, do we have any? Do we have anything in September?
I can't look at my phone right now. I don't know.
I know. In
Oh
October
yeah.
we just did the Smith County Courthouse. We're doing that with limestone in October. I don't think we have any. Oh no, wait, November we're doing May Stringer House with Black Smoke. We're going down to Florida. She's actually going to Florida next month. See her family, but also investigate with Black Smoke. And
Nice.
ending the year out with a banger, we have Madison Seminary on Friday, and then Saturday we have Fairfield County Infirmary. We're doing that with Journey into the Haunted with Tina, so I'll be fun. We've never done two
Yeah.
back to back before, so you know.
Nice. Nice. You got a full plate there, ladies. That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
usually
fun.
hit like 8 to 10 a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. I don't do that much investigating, but then again, I'm not a paranormal investigator, so that's probably why. Um, so Yvette, you have kids. Sierra, do you have children?
I don't know.
No. So Yvette, with your gifts, I would call them. Do you see that in either one of your children at all?
Both of them.
Both of them?
Yes.
What When was it that you first noticed?
My oldest daughter, when she got older, her name is Stephanie. She's able to sense if something's going to happen. This is maybe after 18 years old. She's 26 right
Yeah.
now, or 27,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
All right. I was not expecting that because you don't look old enough to have 20-year-old children.
Oh, well,
So
thank you so much.
you're welcome. I was like expecting like 10 years old, but that's okay. So both of them are both of them adults?
Yeah, one is 26 and one is 27.
Okay.
And
And
my oldest is the one that has most of the gifts. So she's able to sense
okay.
if something's going to happen. I get messages every once in a while. Mom, are you okay? I feel like something's wrong or something's happening. That type of thing.
Yeah, and I'm up here laughing because when we got burned at our undisclosed location, we can never ever go back. When we get back to the house, was it on the live? She's like, I felt something bad was going to happen about that time. We're like, well, tell somebody. And we wouldn't have left the house.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. So, do you guys normally just investigate just the two of you, or do you try and, team up with other people?
I mean, we typically do the two of us. For a
Yeah.
more pricey location, we'll try to collab with other people. Her husband, our shadow bastard, he might join us on a look. He's actually going with us to Wilmington to the battleship.
That's pretty sexy too.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a believer or is he more of a skeptic?
He's a skeptic. He is.
Yeah.
He's too busy trying to scare me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put a cat bell on him.
That's funny. I mean, like half and half, like be half skeptic, half believer. I feel like is like a good combination. You know what I mean? That way you can discern, certain things. Because not everything is always going to be paranormal. Not every noise or every bump or every like whisper could just be the wind. I don't know.
Well,
Just saying.
He's a skeptic, Kevin, but coming out with us, things have happened and he cannot explain it. Like on the walkie-talkie at Waverly in the body shoot, it sounded like a witch cackling on my walkie-talkie, and there was nobody on it. It was just like a cackling. So he couldn't explain that one. He caught that one on film himself.
Wow. I love it when like the real like hardcore skeptics like have like those happenings. You know what I mean? Because it's fun to watch them try and figure out the cause, and you're just like you're like you're more positive like that was paranormal, and they're like, no, there's got to be some reason, and then you just sit
You're
there
like,
and you
yeah,
watch
yes, sir.
them like try and figure it out, and you're just like,
He was
this is fun.
speechless. He didn't say anything.
Oh, okay, even cooler.
Yeah.
I love seeing their faces and stuff like that. It's fun for me.
Yeah.
Although a lot of things scare me, like I said. My sister, she used to co-host the show with me for a little bit. She actually told this story. She tells the story of when we were kids, we were getting ready for school one day, and she saw this big black mass. She was walking in front of me. She saw this big black mass cross from the kitchen through the doorway into the living room, and she stopped, screamed, turned around, and ran. And I followed her. And we went to my mom's room, and my mom's like, "What the hell's going on? What's going on?" And my sister's like hysterical, couldn't like was trying to explain, but my mom wasn't like understanding, and she's like looks at me, she's like, "What happened?" And I was like, I don't know. She screamed and ran, so I screamed and ran. And so my sister loves telling that story. She's like, if anybody I know is gonna survive a horror movie, it would be Kevin, because he didn't ask questions, he just fucking runs.
There you go.
So that is me. So I'm interested to see how I fare at the Conjuring House coming up next month.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Now, do you guys? Yeah. I'm interested.
Yeah.
Because the woods are supposedly like one of the parts of the property that's the most haunted.
Well, and
So we'll
everything in
see.
the basement is like, go to the woods, go to the woods. Why? Go to the woods.
Yeah,
Just come on, don't
yeah.
ask questions. Yeah.
That's one of our places we plan to go next year because we got to fly there. So we got to plan that out. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like a 5 hour, 4 hour drive from no. Yeah, somewhere's in there. 4 or 5 hour drive for me
Oh, that's not bad
from
at
where
all.
I am. No, not at all. I thought for some reason I always thought it was in Connecticut, but I guess it's in Rhode Island. And I was like, whoa, what? That's interesting. But so for people that are just starting in like investigating and whatnot, do you guys happen to have any tips or tricks to bestow on any of them?
I mean, the fancy equipment that you see on TV is great, but your phone can shoot a video. You can record audio. We've caught things there before. And, like Yvette said, you're your own piece of equipment. You can pick up on a vibe and kind of see what's going on, see if they'll interact with you first, and then maybe add your phone. And as you do it, maybe include the other fancier stuff. Just start accumulating, and then you'll have 2 bags.
Yeah, everybody's got a phone nowadays, so that's all you need and
Mhm.
yourself. So that's good right there.
Yeah, I would agree. So what do you guys think about like what the paranormal is? Do you think they're actual like spirits that have passed on? Or do you think it's like another realm? Or like what are your thoughts on the other side?
I mean, I don't. Oh,
go ahead.
You sure? So it's almost like both. I think it's people that have passed on, but then they're almost like interconnecting. I've tried in the last little bit. What how do you see us? Do you see us like we see? Do you see us? What does it look like? Does the place look like how it did when you were there? Does it look like how we see it? Don't I mean that was at Trivet Clinic, and I want to say that they said that they saw it how it was, and they didn't see us, but they could hear us. So it's kind of both.
Kind of like parallel universe, but still like
They've passed.
just
Well, they've
pat.
passed on to us, but yeah, I don't know how that exactly works.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, so we really don't know. I don't know. It can be a spirit, it can be something in between, or another world that we just don't know what's existing out there. I don't know. These are the things that we want to find out. That's why we do this.
Right. Sometimes I feel like we may never know. Like, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
Until I pass, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like, cause I've never been the type that I need the answers to life. I need to know what the hell this is. This this realm is. This what am I doing here? I really think the purpose of life is love. Just
Oh yeah.
experiencing it and giving it. I think that's the whole purpose.
Absolutely.
Like working and paying taxes is not it's the purpose.
No.
Correct.
So, but anywho, so are you guys the closing question I love asking everybody, especially paranormal investigators and authors and stuff. Are you guys finding fulfillment in what you're doing?
Oh yes.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's great. It takes us out of the world that we live in, and it just lets us explore and meet other people, other investigators, and just the whole
Meet
thing.
people.
Even the road trips alone, it's worth it. All of it is well worth it.
I mean, meeting people and connecting with people that we would have never had, 5 seconds with has been amazing. I mean, Black Smoke, Cross the Line, James, Ghost Hunting Housewives, Kimmy, I'm blanking, Tina. journey into the haunted. I mean, limestone, the ones that we've connected with and built these friendships. It's amazing. We've really kind of found a community.
Yeah. I would say like the paranormal community seems to be like extremely friendly and accepting of everybody. And I'm even though I'm not an investigator, I'm in it as well just because of the podcast. I talk about this stuff as well as, you know, cryptids and conspiracies and mental health is a big part of the show just because like experiences, like you have these experiences, you think you're crazy and you don't want to tell anybody. So like I want to be able to allow people to express themselves with their experiences and not feel judged.
Right.
So like mental health is important to me as well. So and it seems to be like everybody that I've come across in the paranormal field feels the same exact way.
Absolutely.
So I think that's amazing, and everybody in this community has been so nice and accepting and everything, and I personally have made a lot of good friends through the podcast and talking to the people of the paranormal investigating teams and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I was super stoked that you guys reached out to be on the show.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you guys here and there on my socials and stuff. So it's pretty cool to be able to connect with you guys today, and I really appreciate
Likewise.
you guys
Yeah, thank
taking the
you.
time.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I say this all the time. People might be like, "Dude, shut the fuck up," but time is our like greatest currency, and the fact that you guys wanted to come and spend some time with
Yeah.
me means the absolute world to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Likewise,
thank you
it
for having
really
us.
does. And that's what we want with everyone else, some time with each other. It's good for our mental health for sure.
Yeah. So as we wrap up here, I just want to so if anything that you could say to somebody who is struggling with experiences and feel like they're crazy or anything, is there anything that you think that you could say that might be able to help them?
I mean, it sounds so cliche to say that you're not alone and you're not crazy, but you are truly not. I think everyone has experienced some sort of something. They just don't know what it is or what to call it. And you can find ways to communicate with what's there or find someone that is experienced and, try to communicate and figure out what's going on, why it's there. You're not crazy. It happens.
Yeah, I would say just be strong. Tell them they're not welcome. They need to get out. Just to be strong and stand your ground. And do some prayers because there's others out there that would help you. They're listening, and they're there to help you. So that they can stop. So just be strong.
All right, ladies. So this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed having you guys on. So if you don't mind, just one more time, reminding everybody where they can find you and find all your stuff.
Yes, so we are Haunting Angels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube under Haunting Angels.
Nice.
Yeah.
And your St. Albans video is dropping when?
June 1st. We actually, Yvette's not even seen it. I just finished the trailer. That's what I was doing instead of making sure that the link worked. Priorities. Kind of. I don't know.
Hey, man, your content is more important. I feel like, the stuff for you is what's more important.
Yeah, that is why you have me on a wall with my corkboard on my phone.
Well, everybody, so that is the show. I would really appreciate it if you checked out Haunting Angels. Don't forget the T because it just sounds weird if you do.
Yeah.
Please go check them out on their YouTube. I'd greatly appreciate it. I've enjoyed this conversation. And so if you guys are interested, like, follow, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. Leave a rating and review. I'd greatly appreciate it. You can leave a rating and review on the website, which is wheretheweirdonesiarepodcast.com. That's where you can get the merch. Hot sauce should be hitting the website soon. And go check out, go subscribe. Don't just check them out. Subscribe to Haunting Angels on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're doing amazing stuff. So June 1st, right after today, because today is technically May 31st when this episode comes out.
Yeah.
So go check them out, please. I'd appreciate it. Love you all. Remember, question everything and stay weird.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.
Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky. When the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day, make a wish.